Working. Do you enjoy it? No. Otherwise you would do it for free and it wouldn't be called work. And that's the way the news goes. You simply need the money to survive. You dislike your work, but you have to do it. While working, all you look forward to is the weekend. But you're drained. All you have energy for is to watch quick and easy entertainment. You don't have the energy or the willpower to cook, so you order your fatty foods right to your door. You grow more fat and tired day by day. Your health and mental state is declining. Your limited time here is slipping through your fingers. Is this how you imagined your future as a child? Time goes incredibly fast while employed. The days pass by quickly, into weeks, months, and into years. Yet you learn nothing. Your internal growth is none. Your body is aging, yet you have become stagnant as a person. Your memory is at a state similar to a soup. It consists of random and identical memories of work and of pointless interactions that you can't pinpoint to any specific context. It all blends into one. Did you talk about that with your colleague last week or last year? Who knows? But perhaps this eternal state of limbo is for the best, as these memories at the end of the day mean nothing to you. Your life is a tragic state of existence. And what for? You work, but not really for yourself. You waste your time, the majority of your waking hours, on making someone else rich. And all you get are the scraps at the bottom of the barrel in order for you to afford your living. You're stuck in this loop of working in a job in order to afford your hobbies which you don't have time for. And to afford the roof over your head, which you're barely even under anyways during your conscious hours since you are at work all the time. It's merely a place where you sleep at. It's all a negative downward spiral into the abyss. You work 40 to 50 years in order to make the last 2 decades of your life the least insufferable. How mental isn't this reality? Corporate decide when you wake up. They decide when you eat. They decide when you piss and shit. Is this really worth your dignity? You waste your youth so you don't have to work the last years alive, when you are in your most mentally and physically limited state of being. To say that your time is precious would be a severe understatement. Your time is the only thing you have. You trade your time for money, for something that you don't even care about. It's the worst trade deal ever imaginable. I'm not being political here, however. The system might be broken, but it's not going to change. We can complain all we want, but out of all the injustices and flaws, it's still going to remain the very same, or become even worse. What we simply have to do is work within the system, or rather, make the system work for us, instead of against us. Before I continue, if you find our content valuable and want to become the best man that you can be, please consider subscribing. This also helps us continue creating great content. Alright, let's get back to it. Focus on your career. What is it that you want to do throughout the rest of your short life? And get started on that career ASAP. That's how you make the money, that's how you become someone. Is the answer for most people. It's one of the things, if not the thing, that society hammers into all of us throughout all our lives. What do you want to become when you grow up, they ask. A lawyer? A pilot? Maybe an astronaut? Fuck all that noise, I say. You're simply making your employer, your landlord, and your government rich by having that traditional soul-crushing career. The more you work, the more you earn, the more taxes you pay. Who is the loser in all of this? You are. Your time is vaporized, never to return. You don't create meaningful memories at work. You don't nurture your interests or grow as a person. Reject the expectations society, friends, and family has on you. You don't need to waste your extraordinarily precious time awake working for someone else but yourself. Those around you don't get it. They are unable of thinking outside the box and see other opportunities than the ones that they were taught. Or they realize their mistake too late, when they've already wasted decades and collected huge debt. But you understand this reality of your own freedom and self-determination, and that's what's important. In your life, you come first. You are the protagonist of your own story. Our ancestors, just as recent as our own grandparents and their parents, had it worse than we do now. They worked far more hours than we do. They had way worse working conditions and a lot less benefits than we do. Or is this really entirely true? Your granddad could afford a villa in a nice neighborhood, a car, a handful of children, and a stay-at-home wife, and all the other day-to-day items on his one single salary as a welder or a car salesman or some other blue-collar job. It's astonishing that this used to be the reality, and only something that you and I can dream of today. Now, of course, there are jobs that are necessary for a society to function, like firemen, polices, nurses, doctors, etc. They all transcend the mere purpose of making corporate's fat wallet even fatter. If you are content spending your time with these meaningful jobs, then all power to you. You're all heroes. Thank you. The solution to all of this is money. Duh. If you're poor, then just get rich, bro. But seriously, hear me out. You do not want to become wealthy for the sake of wealth itself, or with consumerist intent. Wanting money for the sake of getting rid of it is so laughably pointless. Instead, see money as a tool to gain the single most important commodity there is: time. Being wealthy is having time. Time to be with those you love, spending time on what you love to do, and time to improve yourself. You want to be the master of your own time, since you're the master of your own life, right? Instead of working for the money must work for you. Yes, cliché, I know. But I want you to view obtaining cash through work and a salary, aka through active income, merely a tool to lay a foundation for future assets, aka passive income. To make it clear, you should not aim to make money on its own, that being as a single time income over and over. Instead, you should focus your time on creating assets. But what are assets? This video and our channels are examples of assets. Also, stocks, royalties, or passively ran businesses are examples of other assets. They will provide long-term incomes without having to constantly put in active work. You make money while you sleep, while you watch movies, while you go on holidays, which is exactly what you want. That is the wonderful reality that assets give to those who work smart. Now, starting a business is of course easier said than done, but making you a businessman is not the point of this video. There's endless information and inspiration out there, which I strongly encourage you to look up. As I said, being wealthy is not about being rich, but about having time. And if you can create, or are lucky enough to already have favorable circumstances in which you can minimize your expenditures and liabilities, then do so this instance. Stop drinking coffee. Stop eating out. Stop splashing out your money. If your dream life, for example, is to spend time on reading books and working out, living that philosopher lifestyle, then buy books on the second hand or borrow them at the library. Share your apartment and find the cheapest gym nearby. Squeeze those costs down to a minimum. If you do so, you don't even necessarily need to amass a large amount of income in order to become wealthy, if you're content with such a life. Heck, even working part-time could be enough for you if you're fortunate enough. Having the right mindset is important. With all of this said, being able to let go of regular corporate work is most likely a luxury which you cannot afford. Even with minimal assets. That's just why you work. I get that. But the point is, don't focus on your career and always strive towards working on yourself. And the way you do this is by acquiring assets. That's how you make the system work for you. And how you avoid working for the system by slaving away in front of your desk until you die. Always strive towards freedom. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment your own thoughts and continue watching these videos. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at the Selfmade Insta, where you get even more reminders and daily motivators to become the best man that you can be. See you in the next one.